Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome back to Podcastage Deuce, the channel where I do stuff nobody is asking for. Nobody is dumb enough to ask me to do it because it's crazy. It's so mundane. Today, I'm going to be going through and walking through and demonstrating every single microphone model that is available in the Townsend Labs Sphere L22 plugin. There are a lot of them. Here is a list of all the microphone models that are available. The LD47K, LD49, 67, 67 NAS, 87 Vintage, 87 Modern, 87 TK, LD12, 251, 800, 37A, 37P, 414 Brass, 414 Nylon, 414 US, 414 T2, LD 563, and 017T. Then when we go to hybrid, we have the SD451, SD416, RB4038, the 77DX Satin, 77DX Umber, the DN57, DN7, DN20, DN409N, DN409U, DN421N, DN421S, DN421B, DN12A, and DN12E. And then we have custom, we have Sphere Linear, Sphere Diffuse, and Sphere Direct. That is me listing all of them. Imagine how long it's going to take for me to speak into all of them. And I am going to do so, starting now. First up, we have the LD47K, which, as you guessed it, is modeling a U47. The 47 employs a Telefunken VF14 tube, which is also extremely rare. And only 6,000 U47s were manufactured, fully brass 47 capsule with a screw-mounted Mylar diaphragm, and of course, a genuine VF14 tube. There you go, that's the LD47K, emulating a U47 on cardioid mode. Next, we have the LD49K. The 49 employs the same capsule as the 47, but the response of the 49 is slightly smoother and less colored due to the tapered head basket. 49 also uses a Telefunken AC701 tube instead of the VF14 that was used in the 47. I actually enjoy this one a little bit more than the 47. The smoother sound really suits my voice a bit more, but it is a little bit more mid-forward sounding to my ears, a little bit less crispy up top on the cardioid mode, and it seems like it has all of the polar patterns. We're not going to use all of them, just the cardioid. Next, what do we have? The LD67, a U67 emulation. This came out in the 60s with the VF14 tube going out of production, if I'm not mistaken. Then they had to find a new tube, and then they made the U67. I think that's how it worked. An EF86 tube. The particular 67 model is warmer sounding than others we have heard. Okay, so they are modeling a specific microphone as opposed to all microphones of a certain model. They're not getting 60 microphones of a certain model and then aggregating the information from all of them. They are just using a single microphone and modeling that. Warmer sounding than the others. Yeah, this is a relatively warm sounding 67. I compared it against the U67 reissue. Check my review of this microphone, and I found the U67 reissue to be a little bit warmer than this. So, interesting. That's because I just realized I didn't compare it against the LD67. I compared it against the next mic, the LD67 NOS, new old stock. What this is, parts of East German side of the border, which was previously unknown to the West German side of the company. In 1991, a limited production 67 reissue was released, made from these new old stock parts. In theory, this batch of production is no different than earlier versions, although the one we measured, which this model is based on, sounds distinctly different from others we've listened to. The LD67 new old stock model sounds brighter and more modern compared to the original LD67 model. And I would say more modern sounding than the reissue as well. At least my reissue and the one they modeled. Next one we have LD87 Vintage, a U87 Vintage. This is because they wanted to do a tubeless microphone, a solid-state mic. LD87 model is based on a mid-1970s version with a split backplate capsule, which sounds slightly different than a modern U87. Yeah, the vintage U87s sound different than the U87 AIs, but here you go, U87 vintage on cardioid mode. Let's jump to the next one. Here we are, 1986. The 87 was updated to have lower noise, higher headroom, and that's the end of the sentence. In production for 35 years, 87 has become a de facto standard for broadcast, voiceover, and many other applications. Yep. Pretty standard. Everybody knows the U87 AI. Everybody loves the U87 AI. Or maybe not everybody loves it, but everybody knows it. And here is the model. Here we have a strange one, the LD87TK, which is a U87 model. This is based on an 87 modified by Tracy Corby of the now defunct Corby Audio technology. The modification extends the 87's response at both the low end and high end, giving it a more modern sound but without accentuating sibilance. Some might argue it's what an 87 should have been from the beginning. What a statement. Good golly gee willikers. Quite a statement. This modified version is what the U87 should have been. Suckers. Good take. Then we have the LD12 AKG-C12, I would say. This model is based on the iconic microphone from the 1950s with a gorgeous high-end sheen and sparkle, which is often a great choice for lush, breathy vocals without overly accentuating sibilance. I find that the C12 is a bit much on me in many cases, but I haven't tried an actual C12. Maybe one day I will. I don't have $6,000 for a modern C12, and I'm definitely not going to spend $20,000 on an original. This is the cardioid mode AKG-C12 LD12 model. Next, microphone. Elam 251. The LD251 model is based on the classic Austrian-made microphone built for export to the US, which has a 6072 tube and an original Foley brass capsule. 251 is one of the rarest and most highly regarded microphones of all time. It is the go-to vocal for many A-list artists, including Bianchi. Who's Bianchi? I don't know who Bianchi is. I'm sorry. I'm having fun. Single take. We're rocking and rolling. I may have a few edits here and there, but I'm having fun. That's the LD251, the Elam 251. Very popular microphone. I think it's a little bit too crispy for me. Many people, it may work for them, especially in a mix, but just for spoken word or a harsher voice like me, not the most appealing mic. Oh boy, I heard somebody say this is the most overrated microphone or overpriced microphone of all time. The Sony C800G was $10,000 new. Once it got discontinued within 3 months, it was going for $20,000. The LD800 model is based on a more recently designed Japanese microphone, which has become a classic in its own right. The 800 is often the perfect choice for a modern pop or hip-hop sound and is the go-to microphone for countless big-name artists, including Mariah Carey. Well, Mariah, I hate to say it, I'm not keen on this microphone, but who am I to judge a woman with vocals such as yours? What a legend. What a great voice she has. Okay, next microphone. The LD37A. This is one that I am not familiar with. We're going to read the info. LD37A model is based on a classic 1950s Japanese tube microphone, which has been used by countless icons, including Sinatra, Nat King Cole, and Hendrix. Compared to other condensers, it's known for a warmer, smoother sound, which can be good for taming sibilance and harsh high end, yet still has enough air in the upper register to avoid sounding dull. It's a favorite for drum overheads and toms for many engineers, but also excels on vocals and electric guitars. The 37 supports a non-directional omni, unidirectional, okay. The M music position is essentially flat. M1, V1, and V2 settings provide progressively more bass. Okay, so it's very similar to the Sennheiser bass roll-off. They have the, I think it was M1, M2, M3, M4, something like that on the The 421, was it? Anyways, next mic. 37P. It appears to be a FET version of the 37A that we were just on. Same high pass options, just a FET version. So there you go. If you want a smoother condenser sound, tame them sibilances. Okay, next mic. The 414 brass. We're at the AKG again. Woohoo! The 414 actually used the original CK12 capsule, which was in the AKG C12. If you want one of the 414s that use the CK12 capsule, you're looking at $4,000. They're so expensive. People are charging an arm and a leg for them. Anyways, the original 414 with a brass ringed capsule is one of the greatest studio microphones of all time. Uses the same CK12 capsule as the legendary C12. See, I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Sometimes I do. Just about everything else is completely different, from the electronics to the body design. So this is the original 414 using the same CK12 capsule. Cardioid mode. Let's jump to the next one. We got a few 414s to go through. Somewhere in the late 1970s, 414 production switched from using the CK12 capsule to using a new, much cheaper to manufacture capsule with a nylon mounting ring. Sometimes said to be Teflon. The sound of these capsules are different, and much of the high-end sparkle of the CK12 disappeared with a new capsule. You know, for someone like me, that may be... I may enjoy it a bit more than the C12, actually, because I'm not... too much air can be a bit distracting, in my opinion. Some people love lots of air, though. I've heard, what's his name? Jacob Collier. Collier talk about having that sheen, that sparkle on his vocals, so he loves it. Add all the air, Jacob, all the air you want. For me, I'll stay nice and warm. Anyways, next mic. 414 US. Based on one of the most ubiquitous condenser microphones of all time, which hit that sweet spot of price to performance. This is the nylon capsule, the same nylon capsule as the 414EB. The sound is quite similar, although a bit more neutral. There you go, 414 US. These are all very similar, the 414s. Next mic, 414T2, another one. Another 414. What are you doing? The LD414T2 is based on a newer 414 variant that was designed to recreate the sound of the old CK12 brass-ringed capsule, but using a modern nylon-style capsule. So this ought to be similar to the original CK12 microphone, just using a nylon capsule. There are going to be differences between them, and they are capturing it with this microphone model. There you go. Next microphone. LD563 is based on an iconic East German bottle microphone in the 60s. When set to cardioid, the model is based on an M7 capsule. Okay, this is a Gefell mic, because Gefell makes the M7, and Gefell was founded when Germany split to East and West Germany. Neumann must have been West Germany, and Gefell was East Germany. I was just looking this up today. Somebody brought it up in my Discord. 563 with the M7 capsule is an absolute favorite for recording vocals, but it's not a one-trick pony. It has also found much use as a room mic for drums and many other applications. There you go, Gefell microphone using the M7 capsule on cardioid mode. Next microphone. Alrighty, here we go. The LD017T. You know what this microphone is. It's a Soyuz 017T. That's the Soyuz tube microphone. It has a K67 style capsule. Its sound is more reminiscent of a 47, but with enhanced high frequency extension. Soyuz is a relatively new boutique Russian mic company that has quickly built a following with high-profile artists and engineers, including a bunch of people. Cool, don't care. But if you want to hear how this microphone sounds on stuff, go listen to those people. I do really like Soyuz. The Bomblet, the 017. No, that's the 017. The 9. I don't remember the model number. The one that I have sounds great. Very lush low end and a smooth top. I really enjoyed it. Okay. Next, that's all the large diaphragm condensers. We're on to hybrid. I should note the hybrid stuff, it's not going to be as accurate as the condensers because the L22 is a condenser microphone, a large diaphragm condenser microphone specifically. A large diaphragm a large diaphragm condenser microphone is going to have a hard time recreating sounds from a small diaphragm, a ribbon, or a dynamic. Okay, understood? Let's jump to the first one. The SD451, I screwed it up. Let's go back. SD451, this is a small diaphragm condenser microphone, so you would use this for instruments most of the time. Based on a modular and address small diaphragm condenser mic, which has become an industry standard, full complement of capsule options. My gosh, I'm a moron. I guess I am stupid and don't know how to read. But it is emulating the AKG C451, if I am not mistaken, on cardioid mode. There you go. Next, the 416. Y'all know this one. This is the Sennheiser MKH 416. Short shotgun microphone, extremely popular for voiceover. You see it everywhere. And I don't think it's been changed in 30 years. But I don't think you would be buying the Townsend L22 if you wanted to use it as a shotgun microphone. That would be stupid. Do not do that. But if you have the 416 and you use it for a film shoot and you need to do some voiceover and ADR, you could just throw this on and get a similar sound and make it much easier to cut in without sounding strange. So that is the MKH 416. Next up, we got, the RB 4038, the Coles 40 Dirty 8. How you doing, boy? I want to try you out. That sounded creepy as hell. And the RB 4038 model is based on a ribbon mic originally developed in the mid-50s for the BBC and manufactured by STC, Standard Telephone and Cables. One notable thing about this mic, besides its sound, is how amazingly heavy it is, primarily due to its very large magnet. Luckily, the Sphere, that is not an issue. And it's not the exact same one. The one that people like to use with the SM57 is the Royer R121. They don't seem to have an emulation of that. So if you want to use the L22 for guitar cab and do something that many of folk like to do, get the Coles 4038 and the 57 in the dual mode. I'm just going to do that. You can have two microphones at the same time, and you can get that going on. Anyways, next, microphone. The RB77DX, the RCA, RCA77DX is one of the most iconic microphones of all time and has graced the desks of many famous personalities, including David Letterman and Larry King. Interesting. That's something I would never have thought. It makes sense, but I never considered ribbon microphones sitting on a talk show host's desk. Of course, they may have had it there as just a prop, but there you go. Bing Crosby used it, Ray Charles, Frank Sinatra, good old Blue Eyes, Elvis Presley, B.B. King, Johnny Cash. I want to get more ribbon mics. I love ribbon microphone sound because it helps me out with my obnoxious sound in my voice. It really helps it out. That's the RB77DX Satin. Here is the 77DX Umber. Okay, one of the most iconic microphones. Yes, understood. The 77DX is known for having a wide manufacturing variability, so some of these mics sound quite different from each other. We measured many 77s to try to find the best, and we narrowed it down to two. The 77DX Umber model is substantially darker and smoother than the 77DX Satin model. Okay, same microphone, just different manufacturing tolerances and quite different sounds. That's not what you want out of a microphone, is it? Nowadays, you want it to be the exact same from mic to mic. What would it have been like getting a matched pair of these? Could you even do that back in the day? Interesting. I don't know. Okay, here we go. We're getting into the dynamites, the dynamics, the DN57. What could this be emulating? The SM57, of course. Do I need to say anything about the SM57? I don't think so. But do you want to know what a figure 8 SM57 would sound like? There you go. How about an omnidirectional SM57? There you go. You never thought that would be a thing. Back on Cardioid. Let's jump to the next mic. The DN7. The DN7, come on, stop it. It's the SM7. And check this out. This is really cool. Okay, first off, this is the SM7, not the SM7B, not the SM7A. Well, this model is based on the SM7A version, I guess. Okay, so the SM7A is the exact same as the SM7B. They just changed the foam and the grill. Okay. And then this is neat. When the axis control is set to 180 degrees, the model emulates the mic without the windscreen. So, crank it up. Now, this is how their microphone sounds without the windscreen on, which is something many people do when they use the SM7. Next microphone, I say. Next microphone, I say. The DN20. Oh my goodness gracious, what is this one? It's the RE20. Yeah, it's a classic microphone. People love it. It sounds good. It's got the, what does Electro Voice call it? My brain is farting. I've been recording straight for 4 or 5 hours. I don't know what it's called. They do something to help with the proximity effect. Somebody's going to leave a comment and say, Bandrew, you stupid, stupid moron. And you know what I say? You're right. Here is the RE20 on Cardioid. Hypercardioid RE20, just for fun. Okay, back to Cardioid. Next microphone. DN409N. I don't know much about this. I believe it's a Sennheiser. The DN409N is based on the earliest version of the 409 line of microphones. Slightly more coloration than the newer ones and works well on many sources, including guitar. Notable uses are during vocal duties for Pink Floyd's Live at Pompeii concert video. Okay. 409U. All around great mic, but it especially shines on electric guitar. It is a smooth top end, particularly for a dynamic mic, and low end response below about 100 Hz is greatly reduced, which can help instruments and voice sit nicely in the mix. This version is from the 80s. 409 is no longer in production, and it sounds quite different and arguably much better than the modern incarnations such as the 609 and 906. Okay, it looks exactly like the 609 and 906. I didn't realize there was different models. Okay, understood. 421. You know what this one is, the Sennheiser 421. Okay, what is this one? Let's look at this. Based on a classic beige 421 from the 60s. Slightly warmer sound than the current production 421s. Excellent, because I'm an outlier. I'm not the biggest fan of the 421. I think it's a bit too boosted in the upper end. I think it's a bit much. A bit too sizzly sounding. But people freaking love it. They love the microphone. They love the 421. Favorite kick drum for producers like Joe. Okay, so kick drum microphone. There's a lot of top end of the 421s. Next, 421S. The first 421 versions with a script logo. It has a slightly more colored sound than the other 421S. Okay. I don't know. There you go. 421S and 421N, 421S, 421B. Slightly brighter and modern sound than earlier incarnations. This is the current production 421 cardioid mode. You see it everywhere. A microphone so legendary for having the worst mounting system of all time. The bane of everybody's existence. The dumbest microphone mount ever designed. But a popular microphone nonetheless. People will just duct tape it to stuff. Next microphone. DN12A. I think this is AKG, maybe. It's a kick drum microphone. Wide use as a kick drum mic for its very unique tonal qualities. Producer engineer Jean Leckie usually used a 12 models. My mouse died. For kick drums, the earlier version of the... Okay, there you go. And then it has some filters. Okay, I don't know what these are doing. High passes. Filter settings in this model are designed to complement this mic and can be used to achieve a more modern kick drum sound. There you go. Next mic, the D12E, another one. Based on a dynamic microphone which has gained wide use as a kick drum mic for its very unique tonal qualities. The filter settings in the model are designed to complement... Okay, same thing. But there's the D12E, very cool. And we are wrapping up. These are the custom. These are sounds right out of the Sphere, the L22. The Sphere linear model provides a ruler flat frequency response from 20 Hz to 20 kHz, as well as an extremely smooth and well-controlled off-axis response, a first of its kind for a directional microphone. Let's go around to the side. Oh, yeah, that's not terrible. Not terrible off-axis rejection. Well done. Well done. There you go. You got all of them. All the polar patterns. Figure 8, why not? Omni, who cares? Let's do it. All of them. Who cares? Let's go to the next one. I don't know what I am saying anymore. Sphere diffuse provides a flat frequency response for the case when the sound waves are coming equally from all directions, such as occurs when recording in highly reverberant sound. This mode is particularly useful for room miking and other cases where the majority of the sound is coming from off-axis. The diffuse field response is first of its kind for a directional mic. Well done, ladies and gents of Townsend. And here is the direct sound right out of this Sphere. The Sphere direct option provides the direct output of the Sphere microphone with no modeling applied, but you can still adjust all of the other controls as before, including pattern, axis, and proximity. And we will end on the 47. There you go. That is, I don't know how long that was. That was well over 20 minutes, but walkthrough of every single microphone emulation on the Townsend Labs Sphere L22 new release. I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned something. Maybe got a better feel for the emulations and the different tones that are available, all of the tools that you got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check out the full review over on the main Podcastage channel. I'll link it in the episode notes or the description if I remember to do so. And I will talk to you all on this channel whenever I feel like it. I don't upload here regularly. I don't have to. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.